Hello, fourth graders. It's Miss Kovarik, and I am here with Science Lesson 25. So we are going to continue learning about energy, and we're going to go into the specific categories of every type of energy. All right, so to start off with, everything with energy has a specific type. Some fall under more than one category. So, for example, firewood burning is actually heat, light, and chemical. But we're going to talk about how it has its first category and then it might have others come after that. But we can categorize them all into their first category and then see what comes next. And there are heat, light, sound, mechanical, chemical, and electrical. So we're going to talk about 6 different types of energy. All right, so we're going to start with heat energy. Curling iron, hair straightener, blow dryer, they give off heat. A stove, an oven, a toaster, a heater, a grill, all of these are examples of things that give off heat. So anything that gives off warmth is going to fall under heat energy. Heat energy usually is a secondary energy. So for example, this curling iron, we have to plug it in first, and we're going to talk about how that's a different type of energy when you have to plug things into an outlet. So heat energy often comes after the initial energy, but it's when anything is given off heat when energy is produced. When heat energy happens, oftentimes this is due to friction, and friction is energy produced when one object rubs on another. And I want you guys to do this right now. Put your 2 hands together and then just rub them together. And after 3 or 4 rubs, you should start to feel a little bit warm. And you just represented friction. Some examples. Here's a diagram for you. So we have the pushing force and the motion. So let's say that you are pushing a big heavy box on the floor. There's going to be heat produced in between the floor and the box because it's rubbing against one another. When you kick a soccer ball on the ground, when a car rolls on the ground, when you push a suitcase on the ground, when you rub 2 blocks together, you are producing heat in the form of friction. Our next type is light energy, and just like heat, this is often a secondary type of energy. So we have our light bulb, a lamp, Christmas lights, a computer, a flashlight. These are all giving off light energy. They are showing some type of light. Next one is sound energy. Your voice is an example of sound energy. Whether you are talking or yelling or singing, you are giving off sound energy. When you clap your hands, sound energy. Playing an instrument like a guitar or a violin, and a speaker, like if you're playing music, that's producing sound energy. The next one is mechanical energy, and when you see this, I want you to think of that word mechanical. When we think of something mechanic, we think of someone that works with tools, that's doing work with their hands. So mechanical energy is when something is moving, when energy is produced by something moving. So when a baseball player swings the bat, they're producing energy with their arms and hands by swinging that bat. The bat itself doesn't have energy until it is picked up and swung. Shooting a basketball, same thing. That basketball doesn't have energy. When you pick it up and throw it, you are producing energy. And all of our simple machines that we learned about, so the wheel and axle, the pulley, when you use an inclined plane, a wedge, a screw, those are all movement examples of mechanical energy. The wheel is moving, the screw is churning. You are pushing something up the inclined plane. All right, next one is chemical energy. So chemical energy is when you are dealing with the actual atoms, when you are changing something within the atoms and the molecules to make a chemical change. So when you light a match, you are changing the chemicals, you are changing the atoms that are in the match against that matchbox, which is ultimately friction, and you're having a chemical change because fire is a chemical change, and we're going to talk about that in the next slide. Again, a campfire, lighting logs to make a fire, that's a chemical reaction. It's a chemical energy change. And a battery is also chemical energy. We talked about those positive and negative molecules. This is a perfect example of that. The atoms are causing the energy by their positive and negative charges. So this is how fire is a chemical energy. We have light, solar energy from the sun. The first chemical is going to be the leaves. The second one would be the logs, and it makes fire. So we're taking two different chemicals. We are adding energy, and that's causing a change in the atoms and the molecules. Same with the battery. So we have our positive and negative part of the battery. The battery itself is storing chemical energy, and when those electrons are flowing, it's creating mechanical energy, and we use batteries for lots of different things to create power, to create energy. Electrical energy is anything that gets plugged into an outlet, anything that we use electricity for. So a fan, when we charge our phones, those are all types of electrical energy. All right, so real quick, let me go through it one more time. All right, so heat energy, anything that gives off heat, warmth. Remember, friction, rubbing against each other. Light energy is any type of energy that gives off light. Sound energy, any type of energy that makes sound. Mechanical energy, remember, think of mechanical movement, a mechanic doing work with tools. Mechanical means you are doing some type of movement to create energy. Chemical energy has to be a change within the atoms, so making a fire using a battery. And then electrical energy is anything that you plug into an outlet and you use electricity for. All right, so I would like you guys to do this little sort with me if you can. So we have a glow stick. Remember, things can be put under different categories. I want you to try and think of the first energy that is used. So a glow stick, the first energy that is used, do you think it is light, sound, chemical, or electrical? We've got hands clapping. Go ahead and sort that in your head. Light, sound, chemical, or electrical. We've got our fire, lightning, an outlet, an Xbox. This is a noise, a big boom, the sun, and some gasoline. So if you need some more time, you can pause this, and then I'm going to go ahead and reveal the answers and see how you did. So again, we have light, sound, chemical, and electrical for this specific sort. All right, let's see how you did. So I put the sun and the lightning under light. The sun also gives off heat energy. It also gives off solar energy is what it's really called. But I'm going to say the initial one is a light. Lightning doesn't make a sound, that's the thunder. So the lightning would also go under light. The sounds, we did the hand clapping, that's producing a sound, and then that big boom. I did put the glow sticks under chemical, but because before that glow stick will light up, those atoms need to have a chemical reaction. They need to change inside of the glow stick. So when you crack that glow stick, you are actually doing a chemical change. Those chemicals are inside. Gasoline is a chemical type of energy, and that fire is a chemical energy. We are changing the atoms into something else. We are making them react differently. And then electrical, we have the Xbox and the outlet, because both of those have to do with plugging something into electricity using that outlet and that plug. So how'd you do? Be sure to use these slides to answer your Google form. Let's go over that quickly, and then I'll let you get started. Okay, so first one, Which form of energy is produced when someone claps their hands? 2, a student rubs her hands together. Her hands will feel warmer due to heat produced by. 3, which is an example of mechanical energy. 4, which is an example of chemical energy. This is why it's super important to go back to the slideshow. It's hard to get these right off the bat when you learn it. You've got to go back and remember what they are. So please use the slideshow. 5, what type of energy do plants need to survive? 6, which is an example of sound energy. 7, a car's tire against the road is an example of. And number 8, which is an example of electrical energy. All right. Again, I will post this, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Please reach out if you have any questions or need any help, and we will see you tomorrow. Goodbye, Adams.